What's going on YouTube? Taylor back here with another fun video for you. What's going on YouTube? Taylor here with another video for you. You know, I've finally gotten around to it. We're going to talk about my newly completed Danger deck. Now, I've had this deck more or less not built, but I've been thinking about the cards that I wanted to use and how I would use them for probably good 5-6 months at least since before I started my channel. And I've been super excited to talk about this because I've been watching this deck in the meta and it hasn't had huge repercussions, but it's definitely something I'm excited to play with. So why don't we skip the rest of my preamble and we'll just get right into the actual main deck itself.
This is my design.
Alright, so let's start with taking a look at the main deck monsters themselves. Now this deck was hit pretty rough by the Forbidden Banlist back in July, but so that with that being said, there are some monsters I would have preferred to have more copies of, but of course because I can't now, this is where we're gonna have to go. So starting off, we have 3 copies of Danger Bigfoot. He's fantastic because he is great for quick spot removal of, is it destroy? Target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. Yeah, so that is a hard once per turn, as is most of their effects, but that is fantastic for quick spot removal. Next up, we have 3 copies of Danger Chupacabra. Now, Chupa is great because when he's discarded, you can target one other danger monster. Is it in your deck? You can target one danger monster in your graveyard. Oh, so graveyard pull, okay. Except for himself, and you can special summon it to your side of the field, which is of course fantastic. Following him, we have 3 copies of Mothman, and I forget Mothman's effect, but his effect is, if he is discarded, you can have both players draw 1 card, then both players discard 1 card, and again, hard once per turn. So not too bad. I'm a little hesitant on running 3 of him, but we'll see how it goes. Next up is the first of 3 monsters that were hit by that ban list, this one being Danger Nessie. Now Nessie's effect is that when she or he is discarded, you get a neat little search effect where you can pull any danger card from your deck, and hence because the archetypal pulling power of that is just too good. So that's probably why that's why I'd imagine Konami banned that card. It's just too good. Next we have 3 copies of Danger Ogopogo. If I remember correctly, Ogo was my first danger monster I pulled, and then I was gifted 2 of them? I don't remember. Either way, Danger Ogopogo is really cool, and his effect is when he's discarded, I can send 1 danger monster from my deck to my graveyard. And we also have 3 copies of Danger Thunderbird, and Thunderbird's effect is as follows. If this card is discarded, you can target 1 set card your opponent controls and destroy it. A little more limited in the fact you have to select a set card. I don't think many people in the meta actually play set cards anymore, but you know, it's good support either way, and on top of that you get special summoned a sweet 2800 and 2400 defense attack monster. Following that, we have 2 copies of Jackalope. I do love this card art. And when he's discarded, you can special summon one monster from your deck in defense position except for Danger Jackalope. Of course, that's great for pulling out Nessie or any of those powerful defense monsters in the event that you need them. And rounding off the set of danger monsters themselves is my personal favorite of the bunch, Danger Tsuchinoko, or Tsukinoko. I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but either way.
And what the f are you talking about, man?
Probably one of the cutest monsters in the game. You know, and I just noticed a couple weeks ago, there's like a second Tsukinoko, or Tsuchinoko, back there hiding. So adorable. And basically, this one's effect, it's a pretty weak monster, but when it's discarded, you can special summon it. So essentially, you can summon it normally and use it, or you can discard it and still get the powerful effect. I do run 2 of those. And to round off my monsters, I have one additional card, Tour Guide from the Underworld, which is of course a great staple for any 3-star extra deck summoning mechanic. So that basically sums up the monsters that I have in the main deck for right now. So I'll clear the board and we'll start talking about some spells. First up, I have 2 copies of Allure of Darkness, because who doesn't love that extra draw support? Next, I have 3 copies of Dark World Dealings, because drawing a card and then discarding, each player drawing a card, then each player discarding a card is just magnificent.
You want to go home and rethink your life?
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Next up, we have 2 copies, just for now, of Realm of Danger, the field card for the danger cards. I'll read it as follows. Your opponent cannot target danger monsters you control with card effects during the turn they are special summoned. Once per turn, you can target one danger monster you control. While you control that face-up monster and this face-up card, that monster can attack directly. Also, your opponent's monsters cannot target it for attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. So, interesting play there. I'll let you know how that goes. Next up, we have 1 copy of a new card that I've just come across. This one's called The Beginning of the End. This is a normal spell, and it says, if there are 7 or more dark monsters in your graveyard, banish 5 dark monsters from your graveyard and draw 3 cards. So, kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing in terms of play. We'll see how it actually turns out, but I'm pretty excited to see how that card could benefit me in some way. And following that, we have 2 copies of Trade-In, because I have so many level 8 monsters. Again, that draw support just speaks for itself. And finally, we have 2 copies of Twin Twisters, because destruction spells are some of my absolute favorites. Alright, I'll scoop these bad boys out of the way, and we'll start talking about some traps. Now, majority of these cards I'm not too familiar with, so I will probably end up stopping to talk about them, so bear with me. First up, we have a copy of a newer card called Consolation Prize. If a monster or monsters is sent from your hand to the graveyard, target one of them, special summon it to your field. You can only activate 1 Consolation Prize per turn. That's pretty good. Then we have 3 copies, count them 3, 1, 2, 3, of Danger Zone. A danger trap card. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, including at least 1 danger card, or if you have no danger cards in your hand, show your entire hand and shuffle it into the deck. You can only activate 1 danger zone per turn. So essentially a slower trap version of Graceful Charity, but I mean, with draw support like that, who wouldn't want that? Following that, we have some of the only, in fact, the only counter trap cards I have in this deck, which would be 3 copies of Dark Illusion. Now, a majority of the monster cards in my deck, in fact, I think, yeah, all of them are dark monsters, so it just kind of speaks for itself. Who wouldn't want that direct protection? Additionally, I have 2 copies of Dimensional Prison, because when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target that attacking monster and banish that target. Who wouldn't want that? That's just great support. And then I have 2 copies of Mirror Force, gold rare, if you'll notice. Beautiful. And finally, the last traps, I have 3 copies of You're in Danger. Now, what does You're in Danger do, you might ask, if you haven't looked it up already or read the sets or follow. Reveal 3 danger monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, and you shuffle the rest into your deck. During the end phase, destroy that special summon monster. Only activate 1 You're in Danger per turn. So essentially, you can do so many things with that, because of course you can then normal summon to get over that special summoning rule, where it's, disappears towards the end. Or, of course, you could use that for any kind of extra deck summoning, which is fantastic for all those extra deck players. So that was the main deck itself. Now let's talk about my sort of pseudo side deck. Here you'll notice I have 3 monsters, and they're the only ones in the actual side deck, and those would be Danger Dogman. Now I did get him super cheap, as most people probably have, but he's just not very great in compared to the rest of the Danger cards. His discard effect is as follows. If this card is discarded, you can have all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. And again, since attack really isn't like the main winner of card games, at least in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, losing 1,000 attack just for hard once per turn isn't that great. Next up I have a copy of Allure of Darkness, 1 copy of Card Destruction, 2 copies of Consolation Prize, and then I have Danger Feats of Strength. I only have 1 copy of this right now. It's the only Danger Equip card. Equip only to a Danger monster, it gains 800 attack and defense, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. So pretty cool, but I mean kind of niche. If I end up getting walled by an opponent, I don't know if I necessarily want to have a bunch of cards like that may not benefit me. Next I have 1 copy of Realm of Danger, because I still am not entirely sure if I want to use 3 just yet. I have 1 more copy of the Beginning of the End, just in case I want to use that between plays, and 3 copies of Second Expedition into Danger, a continuous Danger trap card that reads as follows. Discard 1 card, then target 1 Danger monster you control. It gains 500 attack and defense until the end of this turn. If this card is in the graveyard, you can discard 1 Danger monster, place this card in the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. You can only use each effect of Second Expedition into Danger once per turn. So as you can see, not the best, but what can I say? I might try them at some point. So yeah, that is my Danger deck version 1.0. Leave some likes, you know what? Leave some likes, sub to the channel if you're interested, because I definitely have some more videos on the way, and leave some comments. You know, I want to know, what do you guys think? Is this deck worth playing with an extra deck? Would it be, you know, worth using in a tournament, or am I totally out to lunch? Am I missing some very valuable cards that could definitely make this deck better? Either way, whatever it happens to be, you guys let me know. I'll see you next time.